Hello, Jordan. I hope you have a good day. I want you to explain us about what do you do for a living.
What do I do for a living? Well, where do I start? It's been an interesting career. I started out at the age of 16 and a half, to be precise, as a very young salesman with a high-pitched voice, where I was knocking on random neighborhood doors with a view to generating appointments for the senior sales guys that would go out and sell windows and fascias to families and people that own their own homes.
It was in London, you said?
That was in London and the outskirts of London as well, yeah. So I did that for about a year, and then I got poached to go into the payments industry. And, excuse me, I was working for a company called ServeBase, a really niche, great payments firm. What was great about them? They were focused on the gaming industry, which I have a keen passion for. Not that I can play, games that well.
Yeah, but I can play.
Oh, I bet you can. I've heard all about.
Evaluate how much you've done.
Have you? Was it Call of Duty you play or?
No, I don't only story based. Like
Okay.
Last of Us.
Yeah, nice. Well, during my time there, I was charged with and tasked with overseeing the growth from scratch of their cloud solution, which was called AnyPay. So I had to effectively build pipelines from zero, which was for international fashion and retail and hospitality prospects. Okay. And how did I go about this? So what they said to me is, Jordan, they said, we have clients in these three sectors and verticals globally that have, and prospects we want to target that have fragmented payment infrastructure. That means that it's here, there, and everywhere. It's costing a lot. Yeah. We can have one system that manages all of this, and then we can have it in the cloud. So we have a solution. It's called AnyPay. So they gave me this, and I went and built multi-million-dollar pipelines, euro, pound pipelines, whatever you want to call it, and we had a tremendous degree of success. Towards the end of the 18 months that I was there was an incident, and I have to say this, but there was an incident where the payment systems for Abercrombie & Fitch went down in North America. And so one cold winter's night, I drive home and I get a call. Anyway, this phone call comes in, and as I say, the payment systems for Abercrombie & Fitch in North America have gone down.
It affected you too, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of the outage time, the company do not want any outage time, and I want to ensure that the money continues to go through the card payment machines and through the back end and the network, so that we are continuing to grow the revenue we get through the systems that are in place. Yeah. Anyhow, we delve deeper into this and we get on the phone to our support team, and I will throw the guys under the bus here because it was a disgrace and a failure. There was no fuel in the diesel generator at the back of the building.
Okay. That's a failure, right? Yeah.
So, you know, I'm glad you take that more seriously, and I chuckle, but it was a laughing matter. Well, it's a laughing matter now, looking back at it, but it could have almost cost us the client. Now, the reason I highlight this, and this is very important as to why I highlight this changed direction in terms of where I then went. I got poached, and I went to a company called Sage, and they were a major competitor, a FTSE 100 firm in the UK, and they said to me, Jordan, look, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse. We know what you can do and we know what you're about, but come and do it for us. Now, it was a very tough, and it wasn't tough, but it was tough leaving the people that I had become to known as family, really.
Emotional bond.
Yeah, well, serious bond. Still have a place in my heart for some of these people now. Why? Because they're decent, hardworking, honest, good people.
I mean, you can know them and you can guarantee that the work is being done. Right?
Correct. You know that they are true to their word. They're pure. And without going too deep on the level of emotion and attaching to their names and the associates that I am talking and referring to in a third-party perspective.
In the matter of business itself.
Yeah, in a matter of business, they deserve the world. Now, cutting the emotion aside, I had to make a strategic business decision as to what I was going to do next. And look, that was what was put on the plate, and for me, I'm quite a big guy these days. I did run the marathon in 2013 in London, but we're 13 years on, and size of me now, I had a big appetite, and it was big then, but it's even bigger now.
Don't undermine yourself.
Sorry?
Don't undermine yourself.
I like that, that's very kind. And look, I went to Sage, and what I had in place at Sage was none of this Mickey Mouse nonsense, which is if something went down, there was disaster recovery systems in place. So as an individual that was tasked to perform in this area of business development, I had an army behind me in terms of bomb-proof disaster recovery sites, that if a payment system was to go down, we have a generator that doesn't even need, that's got a serious amount of fuel behind it, right? It ain't gonna run out, yeah, because the guys are asleep. But unfortunately, at some points in life, some things will get dug up for the advantage and the purpose of making this a very, hopefully, a more informative podcast. Beyond that, I went on to a company called Addison Lee. So this was a change of tack. But if I'm rushing ahead on that, do say. I was just going to continue on the journey.
You're going to the pace, yeah.
Sure. So after what was a very successful 2 to 3 years at Sage of replicating what I did for a smaller payments firm, I decided that I would throw myself in the deep end and change tack, change the way I was going to go about doing things, maybe come away from being more of a hunter and being more of a farmer. What do I mean by that? A hunter is where you go and hunt for new business, and you will go out and do it by any means possible. There's all sorts of ways, client entertainment, whatever, you cold call, whatever. You go and generate and network and build those relationships as you see fit. And when you're that good at it, you have a feeling in your stomach as to which way it's going to go.
But you still care about the quality.
Oh, always. The quality reflects.
Yeah.
Correct. The quality reflects on you as an individual, and of course the company that you represent and work for. And there's it's not a fine line. The facts are there, cemented in stone in terms of how you represent yourself in the company. But getting back to it, I landed a job at it was a very sexy word for a taxi firm. It's a ground transportation company called Addison Lee. They had 80% of the FTSE 100 on their books, and basically I was given a portfolio of 150 accounts.
Oh, okay.
Now, we was up, but this is where it gets a bit more interesting, rather than talking about payment infrastructure and all this. Yeah. And thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for bearing with me on that.
Yeah, go to the Dubai one.
We'll come to Dubai. Yeah, bite-sized chunks. At Addison Lee, again, fantastic people up from top to bottom of the company, and they brought me in at a time which was extremely challenging for them. And the word begins with a U. Do you know who we were up against? Well, Uber.
Oh, damn.
Now, with the Saudis and other government entities and almost sovereign wealth funds backing and pumping unlimited funds into this, we were up against what I can only describe as a tsunami of headwinds and waves approaching us. And there was this one day where I had to go to visit a guy called Chris Deacon. He was a Chief Operations Officer for Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Now, we knew going into that meeting what was going to happen. He was going to say to me, Jordan, Uber's Uber. And we knew he was going to say it, right?
He said it.
Oh boy, did he say it. Anyway, I turn up with a lovely lass called Anna Rains. Hope you're well, Anna. I do remember you, and I'd wish and hope you all the best to your new daughter. She's beautiful. But what I will say is, Chris and his team were waiting for us and ready, but we were ready for them. And Chris, I know if you do see this clip, you will forgive me for saying it. I'm not saying anything wrong. We make light of the situation. It was a tough call. You did a good job, but I think we did too. What I will say, Chris, is to the audience and to you, sorry.
It's all right, you're using Uno reverse card there.
Yes, indeed. You know where I'm going with this. So, he said to me, we'll cut straight to it, but after all the nicey and chewing the fat, he said to me, Jordan, Uber is Uber. So I said, okay, Chris, here we go. Game face on, right? Uber's Uber. We knew he was going to come. So he said it. We've been presented with this. Shots have now been fired. We have to deal with it, okay? We're having to dodge effectively like this. However, I said to him, Chris, can I just ask, out of interest, where do you shop? Where do you go to get your groceries on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? He said, Waitrose. Brilliant. Got him. Chris, I like Waitrose, but I don't shop there because I really kind of thought, I didn't give it to him, but I was like, I said, Chris, why do you shop at Waitrose? He goes, because it's better quality. He says, I get what I pay for. I said, I almost shouted bingo, right? As if I was in a bingo hall. I was like, I got you, right? I felt like I'd got him in a net. And Chris, you know, I think you could probably see it in my face at that point, because I made you, and this isn't me trying to talk directly to Chris, I need to kind of take a step back on that. But what I will say is with Chris and his team, you know, we had a lot of envy for the amount of employees and staff that were using that could be using our services that weren't. So we had to play on safety for women, the fact that the drivers went through an academy, yeah, and they were insured, and that this all come with a price tag. And it's the same with anything in life. If you want a nice pair of clothes and you want them to feel good and they're made from a certain type of material, you're going to pay more because you get what you pay for. So we hammered that home, and we brought the women into the room, and the women said, quite frankly, that they were uncomfortable just going from A to B, and the fact that they worked for a large bank that had a very serious balance sheet and money sitting in their reserve account meant that they should have stepped up and used a more premium service, which we offered. And we,
you're talking about the market aim, so it's like not that much niche. So you have to make it, yeah.
Correct. Very good point. And you know, I and my team ensured that the Commonwealth Bank of Australia knew exactly what they were paying for, and that was that. So that was one example. Anyhow, one day after several years, there was a colleague of mine, and this is where we approached sort of the latter stage, and this will be the final company that I mentioned to you, where things really come to fruition. There was a part-time guy called Paul, and one day he was coming to the end of his tenure at Addison Lee, and he said, guys, I've got this job at a steel firm. I said, all right. Now that means jack all to us, okay? We delved a bit deeper, and it turns out that Boston Consulting Group had approached him. He'd got a part-time contract at this this venture capitalist, you know, this large global conglomerate, BCG, who are fantastic. And he was like, hang on a minute, he's for real. And their client was Tata Steel. Anyhow, they were after another five lads or lasses, anyone that was fit to do the job. We'll come on to our pronouns and all that another day, but you know, 5 people, should we say, that could do the job effectively and lift an idea on a bit of paper from the ground up. So basically what happened is 5 of us, including myself, were poached, and after a successful interview process were given 2, and we went from permanent roles to a 2-month contract. And we were tasked with going in and taking an idea on a bit of paper, which was to digitize the steel industry on behalf of Boston Consulting Group for their client Tata Steel, to take the idea from a bit of paper into orders and then to annual revenue plan, target and growth. Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
2 months, 5 of you, you've got 19, we want 99 orders, get it, or you might not get another contract. We achieved 100 orders. We got another 6 months. The target was 450 orders, we achieved 500. We then went to, and there was 2 that dropped out at that point, but the ones that were left, we went to an annual based revenue target. This is something I will forever remain incredibly proud of, because of the graft that we had to put in. The venture board said to us, there's the money, go and do it. Now, I think this approach, and the reason I wanted to just home in quickly on this, we know that, and you're a similar age to myself, right? We're all young entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah. You have to take the pretty much big risks to start up the market to growth.
Correct. Life's expensive, and we got to pay for what we want, and we want nice things. You are a good person, and so are the team here, in terms of what they want and what we all want to achieve. But in life, you know, we are beneficiaries of being in the golden era, not a wartime era, in terms of certain aspects. I know that our Iranian colleagues in the room are facing certain other challenges right now. But for me, I think this approach of here's the money, go and get it, go and do it, works. And I think that this is something where we can embolden young people and younger generations to come together in the face of what is a seriously challenging job market, not just the UK but abroad. Dubai is another subject for another time, but I've got a plan and a vision here where we can really try to.
We're talking about the international aspect.
Definitely international now, because we are an international family here, and the connections are international. So already we have a platform that is international, and my vision now, and what we will discuss in the next episode, is how we can empower younger people that are feeling disillusioned with the way things are going, whether it be politically in their country or economically in their country, to be able to expand their wings and broaden their horizons and be happy in areas where we can potentially place these candidates with trusted clients globally. And again, that's for the next episode as we go forward. But I'll be more than happy to answer any further questions.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.